Yo, yo, what's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Sunday fun day. Let's get it, man. Sorry I was a little bit late. I was just watching that Drake stream. Said it was going to start at 8 p.m. They ended up starting at 9 p.m. So I'm going to have a talk with Drake about that one. My man was an hour late. We can't be having that. So I'm going to have to talk to him here in a little bit, see if he can get that straightened out next time. But, yeah, man. Hope everybody had a great weekend. We got a short trading week ahead. Let's get it. Francisco, Rasta, Jaden, Tony, Jenny, Steadfast, Fiona, Alexis. How are you guys tonight? Pascal, Trey, Simone, Sony, Desi. Let's get it. Don't worry, yeah. Me and Drake gonna have a conversation, so we're gonna get that situated next time. He won't be so late. Ended up making me a little bit late. Can't have that. You know. How was everybody's weekend, man? Where's everybody tuning in from? My man, Big School. What's up, man? Mike, Sony, Agent, Harold. Let's get it. My weekend was great, man. Absolutely great. Working on a massive project coming for 2025. Super stoked about it. Let you guys in on that on very soon, probably towards the new year. And yeah, man, Brooklyn Nova, fuck yeah. Woodbridge, wow, what's up, neighbor? Maryland, VA, what's up, neighbor? I know, I can't believe that either. Like I said, I'm gonna talk to Drake next time. He won't schedule it the same time as a Sunday Live. I can promise you that. He just forgot, that's all. He forgot who the GOAT was. You want to hear a crazy story about Drake? I'll talk about it in a little while, actually. I'll talk about it in a little bit. Yeah, man, let's get it. Let's go ahead and make this screen bigger. For anybody that's new here, the way that we structure these lives, we're going to get into the economic calendar first, and then we're going to get into the watch list for the week ahead. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. Oh, what I was going to say about Drake is, as you guys know, I get all my watches from Timepiece Trading. This was the last time I went down there to pick up my Patek. When I bought my Patek, Drake was there that morning, and my flight was delayed twice. I'm sure you guys remember this. I kind of panicked, and I was posting in the chat asking for help to switch my flight. But if my flight would not have got delayed, I would have been there the same time as Drake, and I would have had the opportunity to meet him. I'm a big Drake fan, so if you guys are a Drake fan, that's pretty huge to meet somebody like that. But since my flight was delayed, I didn't get there until 6 hours later, and yeah, so that was a little unfortunate. But yeah, let's get into the night. First things first here, we are going to hop into the economic calendar. No, Drake absolutely does not know me at all. No. Maybe, who knows? Probably not. Very unlikely. Alrighty, here we go, guys. Going into Monday, November 25th. Short trading week ahead with Thanksgiving. Starting off Monday, nothing of importance here. Tuesday, November 26th, we do have an interesting day here. We have new home sales and consumer confidence at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then we have FOMC minutes, which is at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Very unusual here. I'm thinking that we have this on Tuesday because Wednesday is already jam-packed with Thursday's data, continuing that we have jobless claims that morning. But yeah, data starts here. On Tuesday, we have consumer confidence, new home sales at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, followed by FOMC minutes. That is going to be at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wednesday is going to be the biggest day of the week here. Essentially put Thursday's data into Wednesday. That's why the list is so long here. That is going to be November 27th, Wednesday. Kicking it off, we have jobless claims, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, followed by durable good orders, 8:30 a.m. as well, along with GDP at 8:30 a.m. also. So very big morning here on Wednesday. After market open, we have PMI at 9:45, and then we have pending home sales at 10 a.m. So we have a very big morning here on Wednesday. Expect a lot of volatility from these data points, especially if a few of them get on the same page. This is going to be a very interesting trading day, to say the least, with these data points here. And that is Wednesday, November 27th. We also have FOMC minutes again here. I don't know if that's a typo or not, but I've never seen 2 FOMC minutes in the same week. So I don't know if this is a glitch or something like that. But if it is, it is. We'll check it out, obviously, when it comes about. But yeah, that is Wednesday, November 27th. Thursday, as you guys know, market is closed for Thanksgiving Day. And then Friday, we have PMI at 9:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with the market closing at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So market is completely closed Thursday, November 28th. And then it is a early closure on Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's what we got to look forward to this week in terms of economic data. Let's go ahead and hop into these charts now. We're going to start it off here with NQ. I know a lot of you guys like to follow along. So when you guys are ready, you guys let me know and we will rock out. Just drop ready in the chat and we'll get this thing going. Yeah, I'm in Virginia, man. Yep. Yeah, Friday I probably won't trade. Just take it for a 3-day weekend opportunity. That's going to be my focus going into 2025. It's just not trading when the market really hasn't given us opportunity pre-market, right? Just identifying those days where risk is off, and you just don't need to be to trade and taking a day off. It'll help overall long term having that approach. Let me go ahead and mute this for an hour. Mute this for an hour and we are good to go. Alrighty, you guys are ready? Let's get it. So here we go. This is NQ on the monthly time frame. Obviously this is the November bar. Pretty interesting chart here from a monthly standpoint. There's a couple ways that you can look at this. Obviously this monthly bar is still developing. Considering that we pretty much reclaimed majority of it after pushing highs, and now we've reclaimed that previous month's high, I would consider this chart pretty bullish still, with that overall uptrend intact. Weekly chart, very interesting here. I mean, every single time that we've seen weakness in the past few months, it's been a quick dip buy for everyone, right? And if you notice last week's action, which is what I really want to focus on right here, is we wicked below that previous week's low, quickly reclaimed it, and we closed fairly strong. So at the current moment, this chart is a chart that you don't really want to be short on, right? Obviously, we still have that big failure of highs here, which is a failure to go higher. So this is ultimately going to be the line in the sand here, 21,250. We could very likely push into this level, fail it, and then obviously see the move lower then. But as of right now, that's a pretty bullish indication, failing that previous week's low and closing fairly strong as we did now. From a daily perspective, right, we know we've been watching this uptrend for some time where we held this lower portion, right? You guys can see here, we've just been trading in this rising wedge for some time. Last week, we held the bottom of this uptrend trendline support, and that was essentially the third touch. We built a nice base off of it, and then here we are. Obviously in Sunday's session when futures just opened, we're seeing a nice gap up over that previous structure. So now if you're looking at this chart from just a trend standpoint, we obviously have our low, higher low, higher low, and now we have another higher low here, which every single time previously we've bounced from this trend line, it has sent us to new all-time highs. So this is a big demand, big structure that we bounced off last week. So going to this week, I feel like these charts are pretty clean for us. With the fact that we did hold that major uptrend. Now what I really want to focus on here is essentially where we're currently trading. So my game plan on NQ going for the week ahead is going to be two things really. One is we have this macro supply here from that original all-time high test off that trend line. We had the high, lower high, broke that structure, y'all get the point. And then obviously we have this structure here from this recent consolidation. So these are going to be our two big levels to trade off of this week, with this 21,050 being a major supply. If we push in this area, this is where I want to look for a reject off of this macro structure here. And if we pull back, even during this live session, I want to watch this 2880, 2900 area for potential demand bounce off this previous supply, which is now a demand. And that's going to be pretty much the watch this week. I don't expect a big move, but if a big move were to happen, this is what we need to be watching. 21,050, that's the line in the sand here. If we get strong reclaim, it's very likely we're going to trade back into that 21.2 all the way back to these 21.3s is the high that I would be looking for off those previous all-time highs. In terms of the downside, if we fail that structure reclaim, which we've seen tonight, if we somehow get weak, get back below that 2880, that's when shorts would then be valid back down to this 2700, lower targets being back down to this 2400. And these are the big levels that we need to be watching for the week ahead on NQ. As I stated, higher risk approach here to trading this current range would be obviously that supply and then a demand here. We pull back to this demand, 2880, 2900. This is where we could look for a long entry back into that supply, 21,000, 21,050. And, you know, if we show weakness up here, I would be open to a reject as well, because that is a very significant supply. And, yeah, that's going to be the game plan for the week ahead on NQ. And very clean chart here, right? Very clean chart. Just got to wait for that opportunity. Obviously, right now we're kind of just trading in no man's land, as you guys can see here. So just wait for that opportunity. ES, very similar chart here. Obviously, a lot stronger if you look at this overall structure. Full-blown bull market, right? We've all been able to identify that. Last week into tonight's session, we reclaimed that previous month's high. It's a very bullish indication, especially after that weakness we seen the previous week. Weekly chart, very, very strong here. You guys can see, just as we talked about with NQ, we wicked below that previous week's low, quickly reclaimed it and closed strong here. That's bullish, right? That's very bullish in terms of upside continuation. Same scenario as NQ as well. We held that lower portion of this uptrend here, which was the third touch off of this trendline support. We tested it last week, and every single time we tested it, it's been back in the new all-time high. So I feel like our work's pretty cut out for us here. ES being one that's a lot stronger, right? You can see on this chart here right now we're trading essentially less than 0.6% away from all-time highs. So game plan here on ES is going to differ from NQ by a long shot. One, I want to watch a pullback into this 59.90, 6,000 area for a demand bounce. Target these 60-30s if we can get back up there. If we continue just absolutely ripping into the morning session, I want to watch this 60-30, 60-50 area, which is previous all-time highs for a reject. So that's going to be the game plan here in terms of ES for this trading week. Pull back into 59.90, 6,000 for a demand bounce, or if we get strong and retest these previous all-time highs, we can watch for a potential reject up there. Now to talk about line in the sand levels, first and foremost, all-time highs. If we break these all-time highs, 60-50, I honestly think we could trade back into that 6,100 pretty quick, considering it's a massive psychological level above that 6,000. That 6,000 reclaim in itself means a lot, in my opinion. So if we somehow, on the flip side, get weak, get back below that 59.90, that would then permit a short entry. So the big continuation levels to watch for this week, upside 60.52, downside 59.90. We can trade it in between those until obviously they break. And yeah, that's what I'm watching on ES. Now, I kind of want to veer from our usual ES, NQ, and then obviously the watch list. I want to talk about RTY and YM this week. This was a beautiful swing we took last week. We took it on IWM. For those who don't know, RTY is the future for IWM. So I just want to go over that swing really quick. You guys can see here we entered off of that 2300 psychological level. We went long here and essentially took profit on Friday, which was almost up 70%. And if it holds tonight, we should be up a lot more because we did swing some over the weekend. But this was one of the swings that we took last week. If you look at IWM, that was that classic break and retest. I even posted about it on my Instagram story. And just out of curiosity, did any of you guys catch this swing here? I think we entered on Tuesday, which was right here, and then we trimmed Friday. We were up like 65-70%. That was a beautiful swing. Last week, man, the swings just absolutely printed in every aspect. We caught Affirm, we caught Crocs, we caught CRM, caught IWM, SMCI. Took 5 different swings, and all of them were 50, 60, 70, 80%. They were massive. So I'm very happy about last week. Hopefully that continues into this week. And yeah, man, this RTY chart's very beautiful. You can see this is a big outperformer relative to, NQ and ES. Same thing with YM here, which is the Dow. Dow's essentially at all-time highs right now, right? This is new all-time highs. Pulled back, obviously, when the market's seen that little pullback, and now we're already back at all-time highs. And just a little tip for you guys, you can use these 4 different indices, futures, as confluence or divergence anomalies to capitalize off of, which you hear me do often on live when I say, oh, ES is strong, NQ is weak, or YM strong, RTY strong, ES is strong, NQ is weak. When you have that scenario where that one is relatively weak or relatively strong, that gives you the opportunity to capitalize off of it on that relative strength or that relative weakness, which is a great way to trade, right? So just a little tip for you guys, you can do the same thing, right? You can do the same thing. And yeah, man. Gold, talk about for a second. It's in this macro supply right now. This is actually a short I'm looking for, which is off of this 2720, 2725. This is an absolute massive supply coming off a massive rip, right? You guys can see here, gold has absolutely blown the top off throughout the last few trading weeks, and I think it's getting a little bit overextended. So I'm definitely interested in a short position here. It's 2710, 2720 area with a stop above that 2730. I think this looks good for a pullback back into 2650 for sure. That's something I'm watching this week. And yeah, man, let's get it. Alrighty, let's get into the individual names now, starting with QQQ and SPY. Then we're going to move into the other names. First things first is QQQ here. Similar chart to NQ, obviously. Held that macro uptrend here, putting in a new higher low on the daily. That level that we talked about on NQ, which is at 21,000, is going to correlate to this 510, 509 on QQQ, which this is what I want to watch for a reject, right? This was this massive structure here. So if QQQ can push into this 509, 510 area, this is where I'm going to be comfortable looking for a reject to go short off this macro supply here. Now, on the flip side, let's say we get strong and reclaim 510. That's when longs will be valid back into that 512, 515 area, with those previous all-time highs at 517 being the ultimate target here. In terms of downside, like I said, I'm not too convinced on anything, but if we can get back below this 502, I definitely think we could see a nice downside move into 498, 495 being the final target. So nice chart here. Obviously, we just got to be patient and look for that opportunity. It's just a tricky chart in my opinion. There's much more value on IWM or even YM in terms of strength, looking to trade versus QQQ or even SPY. Looking at this chart here, there's just I really don't love it. You know what I mean? I don't love it. But what I'm watching on SPY here is, one, a pullback into this demand here, 591, 592. If we can pull back to this demand, this is where I'm going to look for a long entry. If we continue just ripping, I want to watch these previous all-time highs at 600, 601 for a reject. Those are going to be my first two initial watches here, number one, number two for this week. On the flip side, big line in the sand levels to watch. First things first is this 591. If we get weak back below 591, that's when shorts are on the table. Target these lows here at 584. This should be a very clean move through and through, right? In terms of upside, obviously this 601 is going to be the line in the sand here, previous all-time highs. If we break that, I do think we will make a clean move into 610. So that's something I definitely want to partake in terms of continuation to the upside. And yeah, man, that's what I'm watching on QQQ and SPY. Let's get into these individual names for the week ahead. First things first here, let's go ahead and check out Google. Google's the first name we got on watch here. I know a lot of you guys like to follow along with these individuals' names as well. So let me know when you guys are ready, and we will rock out. Just drop it ready in the chat. Honestly, it should be an interesting week considering it's a short trading week. I mean, we probably won't see much, but also on the other hand, the market, you know, is the market. It'll forever be irrational longer than we can stay solvent. So, you know, expectation should be very low for this week, but, you know, just it's good to be prepared. Alrighty, let's get it. So, Google here, right? You guys can see relative to pretty much all the other names that we've looked at, this is a weak chart, right? This is a very weak chart. Had some news last week. It's very important to note this chart structure. We had this massive demand here, 168, 169, which now we are trading back below. So the game plan here on Google is going to look for a pop back in that 168, 169 for a reject to go short. Downside, watching this 164. If we can get below 164, I think there'll be a smooth move down to this 160. Line in the sand here is 160. If we get below 160, hang on tight. This thing has nothing but room down into this 147. If Google gets below 160, This is a chart that I absolutely love short, even for a potential swing. And yeah, man, this Google chart is my top short watch for a very valid reason. You guys can see here, this is an absolute beautiful chart across the board. Macro supply here with a very big structure below. This is a beautiful chart, and it's my #1 watch for very valid reason. Next, we have AI. This is very small account friendly. We were trading this last week. This looks very good. I mean, just look at that weekly chart. Absolutely insane. Insane strength on that weekly close. Very nice rising volume. Just broke a macro structure. This AI chart looks very, very good for continuation to the upside. Big level here is 33.34. Game plan is look for a pullback into this 33.34 area for a demand bounce. Or if we can get back above 38, this opens this chart up for a move back into 40 plus. So this is the game plan here on AI. Take advantage of that relative strength and that macro breakout. Pull back into 33.34 for a demand bounce, or above that 38 for continuation into the 40s. And that's the game plan here on AI. This is very small account friendly as well. Same with Walmart. Wally World here, man. It's been a stock that just it's not a stock anymore. It's what do they call it? A stonk. Stonks only go up, right? That's what they say. That's what Walmart is, man. I mean, just look at this chart. There is no dips to even buy. There's one candle pullbacks. Absolutely insane here. Had earnings last week, so this is the catalyst that I like behind it. As you guys can see here, very strong daily closure, very strong weekly bullish engulfing, accompanied with nice rising volume. This is a chart I love, right? This is a chart I love. It is very extended, but the levels are too clean here not to trade. As you guys can see, we have a massive demand here at 88, 88.5. So that's going to be the main watch. Pull back into this demand here, looking for a long entry. Or if we can get above this 91, I do think that Wally World can get up there and tag that 100 level. So this is a swing that I'm very interested in, along with obviously a day trade above that 91. This is one of my top watches behind that Google and AI. So it looks very, very, very good. Very good. And next we have Tesla here. Very, very clean chart. You know, everybody knows Tesla's been parabolic recently, trading very close to those previous all-time highs, to be honest with you. We're down about 12%, which Tesla loves to magnet to those previous all-time highs. Last week, in the Friday session, we finally broke that base. That's important to note here, that Tesla is now outside of that range it was stuck in. So the game plan here on Tesla is two things. One, if we can get above 363, longs are on the table. This is a name that I'm all over. I think this can trade back into 380s, potentially even 400 very quick. So definitely want to keep a very close eye on Tesla. Higher risk approach. Watch this 348, 350. If we can get a nice intraday entry there back at a 363, I would love to take it. But obviously the main watch is going to be above that 363 level for a long position back into that 384 here. And that's what I'm watching on Tesla. Next, we have Microsoft. This is a name I like pretty much both ways. Pause. As you guys can see here, Microsoft is testing this uptrend from back in 2023 lows, right? You guys can see here, it started back at the 2023 low, second touch. Then obviously we have that third and fourth touch recently throughout this month, which is holding extremely well. What I really like about this chart is the daily, right? We're building a nice base off of this demand here, 410, this nice little uptrend, as you guys can see, the uptrend trend line support. And if you translate that to a lower time frame like the hourly, that's going to give you that base, right? So this is what we're trading off this week. This is one of my favorite setups, right? This is one of my favorite setups. Have this beautiful base being built here. Game plan on Microsoft is very simple. If we can get back above 420, I absolutely love this name for a long position, back to these 428s, potentially even 440s. On the flip side, if the market gets weak, Microsoft gets weak, we break this 410 level here. I absolutely love it for a short down into 406, down to these 400s. This is one of my top watches as long as we can get outside of this range, above that 420 or below that 410. Very clean levels. Absolutely beautiful chart here. Anywhere in between, I do not care about. That's my no trade zone. But if we can break outside of this range, this is a risk on setup in my opinion. Absolutely love it. And yeah, man, that's what I'm watching for the week ahead. Which Google, AI, Walmart, Tesla, Microsoft. We've covered ES, we've covered NQ, RTY, YM. We've covered an absolute ton already. Now, what I want to get into is the swings I'm watching for the week ahead. First things first, let's get into the green list here. These are names I like for a swing. One, you guys know we're very familiar with STEM, We caught this previously. I like it again. I like it again. As you guys can see here, Stim has broken this downtrend. Stim has broken this downtrend here. Nice closure on Friday with rising volume. We took it previously back here and caught 100% on it. So I'm looking for that re-entry off this same demand here. The game plan on Stim. Is come Monday morning, I'm going to look to enter equity here, right? Look anywhere in this area, 0.36, 0.38. I'm going to look to pick up equity here. Equity is shares, for those who may not know. My stop loss is going to be below 30, right? This is a pure equity play. My stop loss is below 30. Target's back into that 0.5, up here at 0.65. If you look at this from a risk to reward standpoint, this is going to be a very, very nice trade, along with a clean technical standpoint. This is a beautiful trade, which will put us just at a 4.1R trade, which I'm very happy with here. So Stim's one of my top watches for a swing this week. Next, I don't know how I want to go about this one. It has earnings, first and foremost. It has earnings on the 26th. I'm going to call this DKS. You guys know what this ticker is. But we have earnings, so I'm not interested in trading it before earnings. But after, I do want to trade it. I kind of want to swing it through earnings, but I don't know if I want to be a degen or not yet. As you guys can see, we just broke this nice little downtrend, reclaimed this massive structure here. I absolutely love this name for higher. Long as we're above this 205 on DKS, I think this can trade back into the 220s, even 230s fairly quick. So I want to grab a position here if we can after earnings, or if you just want to take equity into earnings, that's also a very, very safe approach. This is a chart I absolutely love for higher. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Next, we have Crocs. This is a trade that we entered last week. Caught almost 200% on this trade. And just out of curiosity, how many of you guys caught Crocs? If you guys want to know my rationale, I'll break it down for you. You guys can see here, this was the third touch of trendline support, along with that macro demand. Right, very simple setup here, along with a bullish divergence. One of the main components I look for a swing. Now, what made me actually enter this trade was based off the daily confirmation. We had a test of that demand here at 95. This is some free game for you guys. Pay attention. We had a test of that demand at 95 and then closed a bullish engulfing in that demand. That permitted our swing entry, and that's exactly where we entered. Exactly where we entered. We entered at the exact bottom, zero drawdown, and took profit in a Friday session for almost 200% on this trade. And in my opinion, this can see a lot higher, and this is why I'm still watching it for the week ahead. What I want to watch here on Crocs is, one, we have a massive gap fill, right? Back into that 117.80. It's the start of that gap fill. But if you're not in Crocs and you want to enter, two things you can do here, right? Pull back into 104, 103. You can look for a swing position with the stop loss below 100, or above this 108. We get a nice strong daily closure. Look for that swing back into 118. That is the game plan on Crocs. I'm already in it. I have runners, but I would add back into it. So we'll deal with that on Zoom when we get the opportunity. Next is Target. Target got absolutely obliterated from earnings. As you guys, I don't know where my trend line went. What the fuck? Where did it go? Not sure. Anyway, as you guys can see here, Target is approaching a massive uptrend trendline support, along with a very big demand here. Currently sitting inside of a gap fill. You guys can see that. But we're approaching a major demand here at 112, 114. If Target can pull back a little bit more into this 116, 112 area, this is my top watch for a swing off of that demand at 112, 110 with a stop loss below that 110. Excuse me, 112, 114 with a stop loss below 110. I absolutely love this. Even for a day trade, if we get back above that 129, I think this can squeeze back into 130s, 140s fairly quick. So this is a chart I absolutely love for the week ahead, and that is going to be Target. Target, especially with the holiday seasons as well. Same thing with DKS, both similar setups. Microsoft, I even love for a swing, right? You guys can see here, this is that macro uptrend, right? If the market gets strong, Microsoft gets strong, gets that closure above 420 on the daily, I love this for a swing, right? You guys can see this is a third touch of trendline support. trading right into that upper trend line. Nice little wedge here. If Microsoft can get a daily closure above 420, I love this for a swing. Grab a month out, 2 months out, keep a stop below that 415, swing for the fences. This is a chart I absolutely love for higher if we can get above that 420, both for a day trade and a swing. And yeah, man, we might be able to take a higher risk entry, to be honest. If we can get a higher risk entry around 412, 410, I would take that as well for that leg higher. But Microsoft in general is just a chart I love above that 420. Next, we have Triple M. This is a chart I really like for a swing. Nice little weekly trend here that we're testing. You guys can see here. This is Triple M. You have the third touch of trendline support, really the fourth touch. Nice pin bar, bullish engulfing from Friday's session. We got a big structure here at 128.60, so that's going to be the watch. If we can get above 128.60, that's the game plan to enter long here with the stop loss below those daily lows at 127 and target that 135 level. And that's what I'm looking to trade here on Triple M. Looks very, very good. Next, we have Roblox. This is my favorite swing for the week ahead for a very valid reason. You guys can look at this chart here and see what's going on. We have a massive supply that was broken, and we're currently retesting as support at 48. This is just a beautiful macro break and retest, textbook, super clean. Absolutely love Roblox. What I'm looking to do here is two things, right? One, we could take a higher risk entry Monday morning with a stop loss below that 48, or we can wait for a daily closure above that previous day's highs at Friday's highs, about 50.5. My personal approach with this is take a higher risk entry off 48, keep a stop loss below this daily low here at 47.50, and then target that move back into 55. Absolutely love this chart here on this daily break and retest for a swing if we can hold it. Looks very, very good. And again, this is Roblox. Next, we have PDD. This is a name that's been absolutely obliterated. Just had a nasty earnings sell as well. I think there's a lot of FUD around this name, but I do think that as long as this 97.99 holds, that there could be a lot of value here to the upside. The risk to reward is there, and that's what I'm basing this swing off of. You guys can see here we have a massive uptrend trendline support that we're approaching for the fourth test, along with a very, very big demand here at 97.99. Very similar setup to Target. I like this a lot. I like this a lot. So game plan on PDD is look for an entry on Monday, right? You guys can see where we're trading into this demand right now, testing that massive uptrend trendline support. So if we can hold this 97.99 through Monday's session and close strong, this is a name I love for a swing back into 112, 120. And yeah, man, this is an absolute beautiful chart. These are my top 9 swings for the week ahead. Obviously, 9 is a bit absurd, so I'm going to narrow them down come Monday. My favorites would obviously be STEM, number 1, PDD, Roblox is up there with STEM. Those would be my top 3, STEM, Roblox, PDD, and then obviously we have Target and Microsoft as well, along with those others. But that's going to be the game plan for this week. Just get a nice swing entry on one of these names and kind of ride the wave throughout the week. And yeah, man. This is what I'm watching for the week ahead, both in terms of day trades and swings. What I'm going to do now is hop into a little bit of crypto. I owe you guys a giveaway and answer some questions, and we'll call it a night. Let's get into crypto real quick. Alrighty. Ethereum. I mean, pretty clean chart here, right? Pretty self-explanatory. Just hold. What else? Solana sitting at all-time highs. This is the trade I'm most proud of. I literally entered this 3 or 4 times with you guys off 120, 125, but as of right now, I mean, it is a smart idea to trim into all-time highs. I'm personally probably going to, if we lose this 250 level, I'm probably going to trim some, but as of right now, I'm still holding. If you want to enter, what I would watch is a pullback into 210, 200 for a re-entry on Solana if you're not in it. That's what I would watch. These previous highs here looks very, very good. Next, Doge, we entered last Sunday. It's currently up about 30%. If you entered that with me, that was absolutely beautiful. What else do we have here? This is a higher risk approach. I'm not very confident in this name, but Cardano looks very good. If we can pull back in this 0.81, get a nice little pullback here, 0.81, 0.8. I think that's a very good long entry with a stop below that 0.75. I would be partaking in a pullback on that myself if we can get it. What else we got? Bitcoin. I mean, you guys see it, right? It's not going anywhere, right? It's flagging right below this 100K. What's going to happen is this flag's going to break and this fucker's going to blow the top off, right? That's what's going to happen. That's about it. But in the weird case, right? In a weird case, Bitcoin starts to pull back, right? Higher risk entry. You can start buying the dip here at 85. Leave some room to add down here at 70, 72, 73. That's the ultimate game plan here. But in my opinion, I don't think we see a significant pullback until that 100K breaks. My personal opinion on Bitcoin is it's not going to pull back significantly. It's not going to pull back enough for a dip, I should say, until that 100K breaks. Once we break that 100K, everybody starts taking profit. That's when it'll start pulling back. But as of right now, everybody's diamond handed it, right? Like you guys can see, this is just a perfect bull flag. If it doesn't break out tonight, it'll break out sometime this week, and that 100K will get taken out, right? Very simple. Very simple. So just hold. But yeah, man, that's what I'm watching for the week ahead. I've covered an absolute ton already. Economic calendar, all 4 futures, QQQ, SPY, Google, AI, Walmart, Tesla, Microsoft. My top swings for the week ahead. We're crushing it tonight, man. We're on a roll. Now what I want to do is answer some questions. If you guys got any questions, whatever it may be, whether it's trading, whether it's business, entrepreneurship, whatever it may be about myself, feel free to ask it. I'll be more than happy to answer as always. And then we'll go ahead and get into the giveaways. The best brokerage to trade crypto? I mean, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. You know, you have Coinbase, you have Kraken, you have Exodus, you have Swan, you even have Robinhood, you have Webull, right? It doesn't really matter. Oh, that's right. I did want to take a look at Nvidia and AMD. AMD, make or break here. Make or break. You guys can see we're testing this massive uptrend from 2023. This is the 4th test coming off a weakness through the last few sessions. AMD is a very nice chart. What I would watch on AMD is this drop base, right? You guys can see we got a nice drop. Now we got a nice base formed here on AMD. AMD, very simple approach. If we hold this 134, 135, in my opinion, this is a great swing on AMD. Stop loss below that 132. If we somehow get strong above 141, that's when longs are valid back into that 145, 147. I actually like this chart a lot. To be honest. I like this chart a lot. Get that drop base below 132 or above 141. Very simple. Snow, very nice chart. Pull back 160, 161. Don't want to spend too much time here. Roblox we already covered. Nvidia I can look at real quick. Nvidia. Wow, this is pretty nasty, right? Look at this chart. We just rejected those previous all-time highs at 150. What's important about this rejection is that sweep, right? You can notice here, Nvidia tried to push higher, failed to go higher, rejected the top of this trendline trendline resistance. This looks dangerous for Nvidia. And if Nvidia gets weak, AMD's gone. So what I would do this week is watch Nvidia, watch AMD. Nvidia's got this nasty failure to go higher, rejection of that rising wedge. If Nvidia gets below this 140, I think that's absolutely lights out. So what I would watch on Nvidia is below 140. Nvidia gets below 140, game over. Look for that short below 140 down to the 137, and then low 130s on Nvidia. And yeah, that's what I would watch for the week ahead. Can you do futures on live for a week or two? I trade futures on live pretty much every day, every single day. Check out Nike, sure. Yeah, Nike looks very good, honestly. Nike looks very good. Hold up. Let me see. You got a third touch of trendline support here. That's the context. We're bouncing off a massive demand. Now let's go a little bit lower here. Got a nice bullish engulfing, bullish pin bar off of that demand. Go down to the daily. Got a nice strong closure. Yeah, Nike could be a great swing. What I would watch is a pull back into 76, 75 for an entry. Or if we can get above 78.50, as you guys can see, this is a massive structure. You can look for that entry above 78.50. You could target back into the 85s here. Nike does look very good. I'll keep that on watch with you. Thank you. It's good. Let me get some questions. No question's a dumb question. No question's a dumb question. How do you get all 3 screens to change the same ticker? Click the little menu next to here. You're going to see symbol. Make sure that's selected. So make sure this is filled out here. You'll be good to go. Wes, glad I can help, man. Have you ever looked into the fundamentals and future utility? Nah, I don't go that deep. I literally just trade the chart. That's it. That's what made me the most money. Every time I trade news or look too deep into something, I get emotionally invested. I get biased, and it's a recipe for disaster, right? Now, given some scenarios, it'll work out, right? Like what I've seen in my experience over the past 6 years, right? Me being in the market, just in general, we're talking about crypto, we're talking about equities, we're talking about options, all together, futures too, right? When people do that extensive fundamental research along with technical analysis, they grow attached to the stock. They marry it, right? And given, right, you see those Reddit posts where the motherfucker is balls deep, fully convicted, full send on a stock, and it pays off. But that's the 1 out of 100 that you've seen worked. The other 99, they lost everything. Right? Like when you do that much research on a stock and you start to fall in love with it, now it's over. You know what I mean? If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, you're fucked. You know what I mean? So it's better just to do what works for you. And if that works for you, more power to you. But my personal opinion, growing a bias on a stock is never good. Right? It's not your stock. You don't know it. It's just your turn. And a lot of people, have a ticker. I love CRM, for example, right? It has a special place in my heart, right? I made 47K in one day. Of course, I love that stock. If I could trade it every day, I would. But I know that's not logical, right? I know it's not logical for me to trade it every single day when there's not going to be a setup there. Google, I already did. That was one of our top watches. But yeah, man, let's get into these giveaways and we'll call it a night. All right, let's get it. So first things first here, let's go ahead and get this thing rocking. Man. Bada bing, bada boom. We'll keep it 2025. All you got to do is type 2025 in the chat one time. Stop spamming. Can you look at Google? I already looked at it. Right? I just answered your question the first time. Why are you going to type it again? That was literally, if you weren't here, right? Like, I don't know. Is WAP a legit site? Yes. They've done almost $1 billion in transactions. I think they're pretty legit. They're the fastest growing e-marketplace in the world. I don't even have a public Discord, and I just want to show you guys so you understand something. I don't even have a public Discord, and on WAP, I'm top 10 in terms of trading. Just for perspective. Alrighty, good luck everybody, let's get it. Logical one. Everybody knows the rules. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. I know there's a little delay, so I'll give you a little bit more time. Yo, where you at? Where is the yo? We gotta check him out. Logical one, where you at? Here we go. Check him out. It's a good winner. Very good winner. Let me go ahead and send that to Dom real quick. Bada bing. Bada boom. Let's go ahead and reset all entries. Where we at? 250. Let me see. Refresh. 222. We'll do another one. Quick. 10 seconds. Keyword's going to be turbo. We'll do another one quick before I hop off. Quick, quick, quick. Turbo. Start now. I know there's a little delay. Excuse me, Jesus. So I'll give it a little bit longer. Quick, 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 quick. Quick, quick, quick. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Giovanni Caro. Giovanni Caro. Where you at, brother man? Where you at? I'm here. Awesome. Where's he at? I'm here. I'm here. Net good winner. Good winner. Good winner. Good winner. Nice. 2 good winners tonight. Last week, I think 2 minties won. Last week, 2 minties won. Alrighty, guys. That's going to conclude tonight's live. Regardless if you guys won money or not, I appreciate every single one of you guys taking time out of your Sunday to kick it with me. You guys know I do this for you guys. I'm going to continue to do it for you guys. I got something big coming for everyone in 2025. I do not have a public Discord. If you want to live trade with me, all you have to do is go to my Instagram profile, click the Hangout channel. It's completely free. I live trade every single day. Every single day. I don't know how much longer it's going to last. It's not going to last much longer, but while it does, I would take advantage of it. If I knew what I knew now and I was a developing trader and I had the resource available to me and the opportunity available to me as you guys do, my eyes would be glued to the screen. I would be up early and I would take advantage of it. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I'm just speaking facts. Last week, I made almost 80K, taking the same exact swings, same exact trades. To be exact, I made 77,000 last week. Same trades, same swings as you guys did. Obviously, it's, relative in terms of account size, but 100% is 100%, 200% is 200%, 50% is 50%. Last week's trades, we took 7 different trades on live. Tesla was 50%, and I can break down every single trade we took. If you go back to on 11/19, this was the trade we took on Tesla, which was the 339 break and retest, right? 11/19 is right here. Took the 339 break and retest. If you go look at the chart, you can see exactly where we entered, right? 339, this is where we entered on Tesla. Right, we took a long entry here on Tesla. That was a 50% trade. Went long, sold into new highs. Took that on live with you guys. If you want to go to QQQ, following day, we traded twice, which was 11.20. Right, first entry was a bottom tick entry off of that 496.50. We went long at literal low a day here. Sold back into VWAP for 50%. Then turned around and flipped short off of 500. Sold back into 498 for 45%. Those were the trades we took on 11/20. 11/21, which was the next day, we traded SPY. We took what did we trade on SPY? 592 retest on SPY, which was a short entry. We went short here on SPY, sold into low a day, which was a 50% trade. And then on Friday, we took QQQ. QQQ was the only trade we took on Friday. What did we trade on QQQ? QQQ, we traded 504.50 retest. So I think that was a short entry. Yeah, we went short on QQQ right here and sold into low a day. That was a trade that we took. Yeah, man, trade every single day, live. You guys know the vibes, man. And yeah, man, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Manifesting a bright green week for everyone. Remember, market is closed Thursday. Early closure 1 p.m. on Friday. And yeah, man, hope you guys have a great rest of your night. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Good night, everybody. You guys have a great night.